joining us. And by the way, November 2024 might look a little different than what we see today. Not because it's August or almost September of 2023, but the next election may be different. Let's talk about that in just a second as we jump into our weekly, tri-weekly Rant Network hosted podcast hosted by Stuart Brisgell and my name, David Solomon. We bring you these unfiltered, uncensored conversations. We deal with a whole wide range of topics. Listen, this podcast is your platform, not only our platform, to express opinions, share thoughts, experiences, ideas, and hear from a variety of different perspectives. And it's frank and honest, unedited, uncensored, unfiltered, on this, on that opinions. Join us as we dive into the latest news, pop culture, and yet so much more. Today, we're going to focus in on American politics again. We always deal with the absurdity of modern life, and this is absurd. To discussions about the deeper issues affecting our society, folks at the Rant Network, we got you covered. Sit back, relax, enjoy. So why did I start this rant this way is simply because once again, you know that expression, Stuart, where there's smoke, there's fire. You gotta ask yourself, and I'm not talking about Maui, I'm talking about Joe Biden. You know, the White House is covered for his ass God knows how many times. I happened to watch Face the Nation yesterday on CBS for part of the time, and there is, Congressman Kahana from California just ranting and raving how phenomenal Biden is, his spirit, his emotions, his this, he's our president. But in about 14 months, you have an election. And somehow, Stuart, we're starting to see signs that maybe Joe Biden will be a one-term president. What say you on this matter?
You know, David, I think that if the latest polls that I've heard show 70% of Democrats don't want Biden to run, not because they don't like the Democratic Party. Let me not mix words. They're not instant Republicans. It's not a that sort of
God
dislike.
forbid.
It's that he's just way too fucking old, and he is seen to being way too friggin' weak. And not to knock anyone over the age of 75, but he is not aging well. He seems very feeble. He seems very slow and very confused. That being said, the maximum age to serve that's being proposed would actually knock him out and a few others on both the Republican and the Democrat side. I don't know if that's the right answer either, but that's not the purpose of today's rant. Today's rant is really about what's now shaping up to being maybe there are some options for the DNC. Everyone knows the state of California and Gavin Newsom, whether it's being made famous by the LGBTQIA rights, which I said very quickly, David, because I screwed up the acronym, or if it's by the homeless problems, if it's by the reparations problem. So Gavin Newsom, is becoming more and more popular on the progressive side of the DNC ticket. And a lot of them are seeing him as being maybe the heir apparent because he's progressive but polished, where AOC is just a child like Vivek. And I think really serves this country no purpose except just making a lot of meaningless, senseless sound. Gotcha kind of guys and girls. So Gavin Newsom seems to be evolving. And everyone that's on the left doesn't like the Kennedys. They don't like the new Ted Kennedy. They don't like his views. They think he sounds too abrupt and he sounds a little too wacky. So where do they find someone in this party that may have some sort of affiliation with the extreme left of the base, but look polished? Obama had that skill because he looked very polished and clean. And he was a progressive. He wasn't like Clinton's second term, moderate. He was way off the deep end with radical ideas that are still considered radical, right? So would you think now on the Republican side, Governor DeSantis, as being another clear person that has a proven track record in the worst crisis in American history. So California did one thing, Florida did another. And if you follow the migrations of ducks or geese or loonies, when it gets cold, they fly south. They come to us in South Florida. When you got wacky and nutty on the left from California, they all end up in Florida. So everyone seems to be coming to Florida to escape either, cold weather or Gavin Newsom. But the left still is embracing Gavin Newsom. So Fox News is now leaking out across all the news networks that coming this year, maybe as early as November, Gavin Newsom versus DeSantis on a live debate. We don't want to get censored. We don't want to get censored, David. Last time we did that, the right.
All right.
Even though Sylvester Stallone is a Palm Beach guy who escaped California, just so we're all on the record, his children mostly live here in South Florida. One of them goes to school in Miami. But at the end of the day, what would you pay to see Gavin Newsom and DeSantis go on a head-to-head debate? I think that would be better than any other matchup in the entire Democratic or Republican side. Nikki Haley's good and she holds her own and she's very much accomplished, right? But somehow Nikki Haley, Gavin Newsom doesn't really sound good because you had for 2 years Gavin Newsom trying to make fun of DeSantis, and DeSantis is trying to just show how stupid Gavin Newsom is about their COVID policies, right? And now, just so you know, we're now getting threatened that there may be another lockdown coming soon to a town near you. And Gavin Newsom's they're already stocking up on masks. They're stocking up on hand lotion, and what's it called? Purell.
Yeah.
Purell. But no, it's not Purell, it's a brand name.
Right.
But, sanitizer, right? And they're trying to stock up on all these fun things, spending our taxpayer dollars on another illness. Now, I think that the control is being exercised because I don't really think the DNC wants Gavin Newsom to debate DeSantis because that's not their wishes. The party wants everyone to coalesce around Biden. I think they want him to die in office, and so that he can be immortalized as a dead president is normally done. But that means we're stuck with who? Who would be left, David?
Kamala Harris.
President, right. So do we want the half-wit hyena as president resident in chief? I don't think so. So everyone's looking for who can replace Biden on a ticket. David, what do you have to say?
Look, Stuart, you're right on this, but here's where I'm finding it hysterical. Joe Biden doesn't want to debate the two Democrats who are running against him, including Robert Kennedy. The liberal media has literally squashed the idea. So we know what's going on here, that they would love the Biden ticket. But the fact is that Fox News has rocked a little bit the boat. What a surprise. And now Gavin Newsom took the bait. And now he wants to fight DeSantis. Not Trump. It's interesting. DeSantis, and you're right, about two governors going after each other. And while you don't like Nikki Haley, I think that the appeal here is nothing to do with Nikki Haley. It's got to do with the fact that you're literally with polarizing views. The thing is that the White House has made it clear it's Biden-Harris in November 2024. They're the nominees. Forget it. There's nobody else. They're not debating. They're not issuing. They're not doing anything. Biden has got the nomination with Harris, and that's the way it's going to be. Now, it wouldn't be the first time that a president swapped out a VP on a second term, right? We've seen this before. This is not a new thing. But Biden-Harris, that's what they're going with. And to see Gavin Newsom do this now in 2024, or just getting into 2024, begs the question is it Gavin Newsom who's coming in? Or are we hearing another name that keeps floating in? No, not Hillary Clinton, but Michelle Obama. We keep hearing it not from the right, but even from the left, that the left wants Michelle Obama to lead the Democrats into November of 2024. So when you have a sitting president that everybody is, I mean, like think about a, a Bill Clinton second term, a Ronald Reagan second term. I mean, we're talking about guys who won. I mean, Reagan slammed the heck out of term number 2, if you recall. All right. Why? It's simple. He was the leader. There was no doubt. You couldn't put anybody against Ronald Reagan. But now there's a lot of doubt with Biden. There's a lot of doubt with his health. You're right. He will be 82 on January of 2025. 82. And if he lives out his whole term, he'll be 86. Now, I'm sorry. The job is very challenging, tasking. It's not physically, an easy job. And here is our president, or your president for that matter, having to need many vacations. He needs to get away. He cannot be on alert all the time. It's just physically impossible. So the question is, do you bring in a Kamala Harris? That's scary, even for the Democrats. You bring in a Gavin Newsom. That's scary for the Democrats. The Democrats do not have a clear moderate leader. I hate to say this, Stuart, but Joe Biden is the most moderate of all the people on the tickets. And that's a scary concept. I would rather have Joe Biden president than any of the other candidates you just listed, including Michelle Obama, by the way, because I think that Michelle Obama is just fluff and puff, and she has zero political experience.
But what about the running around of saying maybe Barack is going to run for a third term?
You can't. The law prohibits you from doing that. So
3 consecutive terms.
But
3 consecutive terms.
You are not going to get you. If Barack Obama was to come back, then the Democratic Party is in bigger trouble than anything else. You need new, fresh, clean. And I think this is the problem: is that the Democratic Party continues. Listen, all I keep seeing and I keep hearing is white men. Let's bring in white men. You're not pushing the women forward. You're not pushing minorities forward. Again, you just played that game for Barack Obama.
Yep.
To me, Stuart, the scariest part of November 2024 is a Trump-Biden election. I think that's going to be a disaster. But
yep. But then becomes the no label party.
Well, that's it. That's what I was going to bring up. You got Manchin, you got potentially somebody else on the right who's going to come in. You can end up with 4 loud candidates. And then will the liberal media let it happen? To me, this election is frightening because you have no consensus. You have polarization. And to say that a sitting president within its own party is got that kind of rebellion to try to change. Eesh. And so for Gavin Newsom to go onto Fox News, thank you, Gavin. You are creating the havoc that the Democratic Party is known for. This havoc. I mean, it's perfect. And what I can't wait for this debate, frankly. I don't know about you, Stuart, but I can't wait.
I'm all in. I'm all in on this debate. In fact, you know what? I'm now saying I want to see Gavin DeSantis. I think that'll be the most entertaining debate of 2023. Probably the only one that would actually show the moderate Republican and a moderate progressive Democrat going head to head.
I don't agree with you that Gavin is a moderate. He's an
no. I misspoke. I said progressive. I said no progressive. But right. Gavin Newsom, could have some moments. I mean, again, California is turned upside down. It's blown up. All right, time to say goodbye. Bye, right, David.
Folks, we're done with today's episode. We'll catch you again on Hump Day on Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in and listening to the Rant Network. We hope you enjoyed this and gained some valuable insights. Truly appreciate the support you provide us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern for these thought-provoking conversations. Follow us on social media. Check us out on our website. Remember, we're always interested in hearing from you guys. Don't hesitate. Send us it. We're growing every day. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on Wednesday. Folks.